Hi, my name is Will, and for the last few years, I've been doing deep research studying some of the world's most successful people. Now, sometimes this success means in the form of wealth, they've accumulated a lot of money. Other times, it just means that they have succeeded and achieved a high level of performance in what they do. So sometimes they're athletes, other times they've just achieved the goals that they set out, whatever they are. And oftentimes it revolves around business, not always though. And I think the reason is because business is a integral part of wealth and success. I mean, everything's business in a way, from the articles of clothing you wear to your glasses to everything in your house. There's a business behind it, and there's a story with how that business got started. Anyhow, just to give you an example about what this is about. So I do a lot of deep research on books. And let me just go through a quick story on how I do my research. So I wanted to figure out what's the most successful infomercial product. The reason is because there's been hundreds of thousands of infomercials over the years, and it's highly competitive, and there's so many different products out there, and it really takes a lot of money to keep those running and also to keep them successful. There has to be a lot of things done right, from the scripts that are used and the price comparisons, the testimonials, the psychological triggers. A lot of things have to go right for that to succeed, and not only succeed but thrive. So I did some deep research on what are the most successful infomercials of all time. What have sold the most? What are the most successful businesses? And when you do such research and you find out who are the most successful, you find some very shocking stuff. Things like the fact that, hey, these people at the top, they're not scam artists, they're ethical individuals. They do strange things, sometimes, hobbies or practices that average folk don't do. They have certain mindsets and techniques and so forth. So I found out that one of, if not the best selling infomercial product out there was P90X. And I mean, this is something that I was shocked to know sold so well. On top of that, it was something that was very well covered in modern media. I mean, you have Bruno Mars referencing it in his song, the Lazy Song. Anyhow, I went out there and I said, you know what? Who created P90X? Okay, a guy named Tony Horton. And I always do this reference check. I always go on Google and I search, did this guy write a book? And each time I do this, time and time again, and I've done this for thousands of books by now, if not hundreds, I'm usually, not always, I'm oftentimes very surprised, because guess what? They write a book, and not just a book, they write a book on what I would be most interested in. A book on their success, like top 10 tips on how I succeeded and how you can get there too. It's just so surprising. And no one really knows about these books. No one really hears about them. They're not marketed. And this is just one example of many. I mean, he's written numerous books, one of them being this one, The Big Picture, 11 Laws That Will Change Your Life by Tony Horton. And it's like these 11 laws to success. And it goes into so much detail: consistency, blood and breath, mindset, balancing, variety is the spice to everything. I mean, it goes into strict detail on this stuff. And I mean, he goes into business advice, he goes into like life practices. And I read this stuff because, first off, no one does. Second off, it's gold. Like, you're literally getting one-on-one life coaching with one of the most successful, wealthiest people on the earth. And this is one of hundreds of books like this. And you'll be so shocked. I mean, I did this for Walmart, which actually one of the highest, it is the most profitable business in the history of mankind. And turns out he wrote, the founder of Walmart wrote a book, and you learn about his entire business from how he started with just this one store. And then he gives all these life tips, these business tips, these success tips. And it's so incredible. No one does the deep research. No one really reads the books. And, that's why I created this experimental program. And currently it's in validation mode. And I'm looking for a limited amount of spots to validate that people are interested in this stuff. And once we hit that number, I'm thinking maybe 20 or 30 spots of pre-orders, then I will go forth and do this program, what it will be is a type of membership program where maybe once or twice a month I do some deep research on a book, and I know I respect your time, so maybe for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I know you guys don't have time for 12 hours of content, but 20 or 30 minutes, I will extract some of the best insights. And it's not just a book summary membership site. It's a website where I'm there, and I have read hundreds of books, which it may not mean much to you, but what that really means is that I have all this reference knowledge. I have cross knowledge from all these different businesses and success advice from numerous successful people. And you find all these eerie similarities in things in terms of business and in terms of their hobbies and practices. And I bring that forth and I say things like, it's very eerie, but all these, very successful billionaires, they all do this thing and no one else does that. And I mentioned that stuff. And so it's not just a book summary, it's a ton of cross-reference checks and special insights coming from my brain. And so, I wanted to price this affordably. There's a lot of people, they'll do something crazy, like they'll price it at $10,000 or something like that. And I just wanted to do something affordable. But it's not going to be free, because then you won't value this, then you won't take it seriously, and then I'll attract the wrong crowd. I want people who are actually committed, actually serious, the right type of individuals who are looking to better their own lives in almost every way, from having more energy in their lives to getting more done, to all this stuff. And at the same time, maybe learn a bit about business, and not just a bit, but a bit from the most successful individuals on earth. So I wanted to put this all together, and quite frankly, there are scams out there where, they'll trick you and they'll charge thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this. But I just wanted to make this something that was ethical and something that was actually very valuable. And also, there will be pivoting. So what that means is that I'm willing to pivot based off what the members want. So if the members say, you know what, I may be more interested in this aspect of this membership course, or maybe I want you to talk more about this or less about this, or shorten the videos or lengthen them, I can do that. So that's it. If you're interested, there's a limited spots, and you will get a early bird price. And that's all I got to say. Hopefully I'll see you on the other side.